grade friends. So one of the projects that we look forward to doing in fifth grade are a 1-point perspective words and names. So since we won't get to do it together in person, I'm going to make sure that you guys learn how to do it during our lessons each week. Last week we learned how to make 1-point perspective shapes. Today we're going to learn how to make block letters. We did this a little bit in third grade, so some of you are probably already able to do this, but that's okay because you're going to practice some more today, and then if you're really good at it, you can just add some details to your letters and make them real fancy and do all sorts of different things with your letters to get ready next week to learn how to make them look three-dimensional. So let's get ready to get started. So as we talked about, we are going to be learning how to take our regular letters and make them into block letters today. Now, some of you guys are already pretty good at this. We did learn it a little bit in third grade, but we're going to get a little bit more advanced with it now. And this is a really fun thing for you guys to be practicing while you're home with some free time, because you can get really creative with your letters and make them super fancy. This is an example that I did. MJ for Mrs. Jenkins. I did my block letters, and then I went in and I made them designed like our Zentangles that we did in the beginning of the year. Remember, with the Zentangle, you break that space up and you can add patterns and designs into the different shapes. So to start with our block letters, I'm just going to start with some regular letters, but I'm going to draw them lightly because I'm going to be erasing a lot of it. So there's my A. Oh, there's my crazy dogs you guys can hear in the background. Somebody might be out on a walk and they're seeing them. So there's A-R-T for art. Now what I'm going to do is I am simply going to make lines that go around the outside of my A. And I'm going to mimic those lines at the bottom. Going to sort of connect that. See how I did basically a border, like a wall around the outside of the A. I flattened the bottom over there, and you could do all different things with those endpoints. And then I'm going to also put in the inside, and that's kind of like a triangle. Then I can go in and I can erase the original A that I drew. It's my dog playing with her toy. And now I'm going to do my R. And I'm going to, again, do a border along the outside of the R. So I'm going to just make a line that goes right around all of these lines. If I'm going a little fast and it's a little tricky, you guys can pause the video and go back and see what I just did. But I just basically did an R on the outside. Now I'm going to do the lines on the inside too, so that I'm sort of bordering my R. And I'm going to finish off those ends and erase that middle line, the original R that I drew. Now I'm going to go to my T, and I'm going to just go around the outside. Now there's no inside part of the T, so this one's a pretty simple one to do. I'm going along the outside, up at the bottom, off to the side. And now I can erase my T. Now, so you guys can see that a little bit better, I'll go over that with marker. But these are my block letters. Now, if you wanted to, before you went over it with the marker, you could take some of it and you could make them a little bit fancy. Like, let's say I want to erase the ends of this R, and maybe I'm going to do like a little, I don't know, beak or wing or something fancy at the end there. Maybe I'll do a fancier bottom. Maybe I'll do a little curve at my R. Okay, so there's lots of things that you guys can go in once you get really good at this, and you can make your letters a little extra fancy. Now, next week we'll be taking these letters. There go my dogs again. Next week we'll be taking these letters and we will be making them 1-point perspective so they look 3D. But you guys can have some fun just playing around. Maybe if you have some free time on the days you don't have e-learning, you guys can do some fancy block letters for the people in your family. Or you can send them to someone in the mail. That would be a fun thing to get. See, then you can go back in and we can use pencils or markers or crayons, and you can start to add those Zentangle designs inside of those letters that you just drew, and you guys can get super creative with what you do there. All right, so again, there was my example from the beginning that I took some time on and finished. You guys can have fun making your name, your initials, any words that you're interested in, maybe a sports team or a family member that you want to make some for. Try and send me a picture if you can, and have some fun, and don't be afraid to make a beautiful oops. See you next week.